broadcasting live just because, you know, if you want to waive the reading of the accusation, you can. Otherwise, I will have to read it loud for the World Wide Web. Miss Washington, you are represented. Oh, wait, I can hear myself. I hear the reverb. Give me 1 second. Okay. We are joined by our interpreters. Please stand by, Ms. Bermudez. We will need to read the statement of rights later on for our Spanish-speaking inmates. We also have a Spanish-speaking person accused of being a fugitive from justice, so just sit tight, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Once again, Ms. Washington, you are charged with simple battery, family violence, aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, and criminal trespass. You do have a bond of $32,000. You are to stay away from Justin Ilubo. You are not to return to 7305 Hanover Parkway, apartment 1014 in Stockbridge. It was indicated on the warrants that this is your residence, so you will be allowed to go back with a sheriff's escort within 10 days from your release for the purpose of retrieving your personal property. You must not violate any laws while out on bond. Ms. McLeod, does she waive the formal reading of her charges?
She does, Your Honor.
Okay. Do you understand, Ms. Washington, the special conditions of your bond?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. McLeod, is she able to make bond?
No, Your Honor, she isn't. And I was going to ask the court if the court would consider giving her a signature bond just based on the special circumstances of this case. The situation is, Your Honor, this is the complainant is someone that my client has been in a relationship with since she was 19 years old, on and off. He's actually been arrested for assaulting her in the past. And they were sharing the same apartment. Both of their names are on the lease. And he tried to attack her, and she pulled out her licensed firearm and told him not to come any closer. He did not call the police at the time. He chose to leave sometime later on, went to his mother's house, and a day later, he called the police and made this allegation. My client has absolutely no criminal record. She's a college graduate. She is gainfully employed, has never been in any trouble whatsoever with the law enforcement. She is an upstanding citizen. She is not a flight risk, Your Honor, and I think she's a good candidate for a signature bond. She will be living at her mother's house.
The court will have to deny that request based on the serious nature of the charges. I did take into consideration the fact that she does not have any history, which is why I went ahead and gave her a bond on the aggravated assault charge. Generally, the court gives a no bond on those charges when there is a deadly weapon involved. While I do understand your position, I will deny that request. She is set down for a preliminary hearing on September 28th. She obviously, you can always get with the DA and maybe see if you can come up with some kind of modified bond that you want to propose to another judge, but it's not in my authority, in my purview, to reduce it based on the fact that there was an alleged deadly weapon involved.
I understand, Your Honor, but under the circumstances, I was thinking, given the fact that this person has actually assaulted her and was arrested in this jurisdiction for that, and her weapon is licensed, she just took it out and told him not to come any closer. And there was no alleged harm to him. He just decided that he was, I guess, going to get back at her. But she certainly,
yes, ma'am. I do understand the different conditions that you shared with the court. However, like I said, as you know, the DA is not here to present their side of the facts. I have reviewed the warrants that were approved by another judge, and I have found actually, I think I'm the one that approved the underlying warrant. So I do find that there, like I said, I have used my discretion to give her a bond, which I would not generally do, but based on her history, I have given her a bond. You can always take it up with someone else.
How much is the bond, Your Honor?
Give me one moment. The bond is $29,000.
$29,000.
Yes, ma'am. And like I said before, there are several people who have aggravated assault with a deadly weapon who wish they would have a bond at all, because I generally do with no bond back. But I do want to
Thank you.
position. You're welcome. And it's always good to see you though.
Good to see you too.
Mr. Jarsmick's client next.
May I be excused, Your Honor?
Absolutely. Have a good one.
Thank you.
Sir, your client is Mr. Gray.
It is, Your Honor. Thank you.
You're welcome. And after Mr. Gray, we will do Sapphire Brown.
Brown is out on bond.
Thank you. Then after that, we will do Ariana Clark.
Clark is out on bond.
Okay. Then we will have Franshawn Jenkins. But we will take Mr. Gray first. Give me a moment to get his paperwork together, attorney. Am I saying your name correctly?
You are, Your Honor. You got it right first time.
All right, awesome. Mr. Gray, you are charged with fleeing from a police officer, aggressive driving, reckless driving, failure to exercise due care, driving on a suspended license, improper turn at intersection, and 2 counts of improper use of a turn signal. Your bond is $14,000. Does he waive the formal reading of his charges, or would you like the warrants read aloud?
We will waive that, Your Honor.
Okay. The bond is $14,000. The condition of his bond is that he must not violate any laws while out on bond. Is your client able to make bond?
He should be able to, Your Honor. I've been in contact with his both of his parents, and obviously they're not extremely wealthy people, but they do have some resources, and we should be able to get in contact with a bonding company that should be able to post a bond on his behalf, Your Honor. And I just want to let the court know that he did turn himself in last night with his father, so he was not seeking to avoid these charges. And you know, I could go into more details of my client's life, Your Honor. He lost 2 twin babies with his girlfriend several months ago. I talked to his mother about this. It was quite a tragic story. He grew up in the Atlanta, Clayton County area. He's been working at McDonald's and then DoorDash. I don't think he was aware that his license was suspended, and this is a case involving an unmarked fugitive squad vehicle that pulled him over for, I believe, an alleged hands-free violation, which he was not charged with. But I know we're not here to litigate the facts of the case, but that bond is reasonable, Your Honor, and I will coordinate with his family to work on getting with a bonding company on that.
Thank you. He is charged with the fleeing. They're all misdemeanors except the fleeing is a felony.
Right.
So his next court date is going to be September 28th at 8 a.m. in room 201. Have a good day, okay?
Thank you. You too.
Thank you. And you may be excused. Franshawn Jenkins.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, you are charged with disorderly conduct and obstruction of an officer. Your bond is $5,000. Do you waive the formal reading of your charges?
What's the formal reading?
That means I will read your warrants out loud. We are streaming live on YouTube. I have no problem reading your warrants out loud, but if you understand your charges, you can waive the formal reading and we can proceed.
No, you can read them out loud.
Give me one moment. It is accused that you are committing the offense of acting in a tumultuous manner and using fighting words for the victim, Amanda Sparks, and the witness, Amanda DeVoe. The offender also committed the offense of knowingly obstructing in the lawful duty of discharge of my official duties by refusing to give me her ID when investigating the situation and attempting to flee the area. The court reviewed, found that there was probable cause for the warrantless arrest and approved it. Your bond is $6,000. You are to stay away from Amanda Sparks and Amanda DeVoe. You must not violate any laws while out on bond. Are you able to make bond?
Yes. It went from 5,000 to 6,000. You just said it was 5,000.
Yes, 5,000, excuse me. Your bond is $5,000. Are you able to make bond?
Yes, ma'am.
These are misdemeanors. Do you wish to waive your preliminary hearing?
That means that I can go to trial, right? I mean, that means to plead not guilty or not.
No, all it does is, as I read earlier, if anybody else is listening, the preliminary hearing is where they determine if they have enough probable cause to detain you in the jail. Because you have a misdemeanor, you have the option of waiving your preliminary hearing and moving your matter along a little bit quicker through the system. It does not affect your rights to a trial or your rights to a plea or anything like that. If you are going to bond out, you will be automatically waiving your preliminary hearing anyway. So I will ask you again, do you wish to have your preliminary hearing or do you wish for me to set it down for you?
I wish to waive it because I'm bonding out.
Okay. So I will make sure that you sign your waiver before you leave, because sometimes people, for some reason or other, do not sign their waivers, and then there's a little bit of a confusion. So sign your waiver, and your next court date will come in the mail, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
And I'm appointing an attorney to represent you. Have a good day, ma'am.
You too.
Thank you. Now, Risha Pearson,
Yes, ma'am.
before we begin, do you reside with Ramon Alexander?
Yes, previously.
Do you currently reside with him?
No.
By currently, I mean at the time of the arrest, did you reside with him?
Yes.
You were charged with battery. Do you waive the formal reading of your charges, or do you wish to have your charges read aloud?
Charges read aloud, please.
It is accused that you threw a lamp at Ramon Alexander, causing a laceration and bleeding to his right hand. A condition of your bond is that you are to stay away from Ramon Alexander and you are not to return to 4233 Jonesboro Road in Forest Park, Georgia. Your bond is $3,500. Are you able to make bond?
That's where I have a question.
Yes.
That is my house. That's my residence. I live there.
The court will allow you to go with the sheriff's escort for the limited purpose of retrieving your personal property. However, you cannot go back to that property unescorted until this matter is resolved or until this condition is modified by another judge. So you can always, I'm appointing you an attorney. You can take this up with your attorney and let them know what's going on based on the case as alleged and the fact that you have stated that you all resided together at the time of this incident. I find that it is not safe for the alleged victim for you to return to that property without a sheriff's escort. So you will need to talk to a lawyer about getting that condition modified. But for the time being, you are not to go back to that property until this matter is resolved or until that condition is modified. Do you understand, ma'am?
I do, but I got another question.
Okay.
Kids reside there. I was on the phone with my mother. He's not even there anymore. He involuntarily.
I understand, ma'am. I don't want you to say anything else, and I'm not being rude and cutting you off, but you're not here with your lawyer, and your lawyer may not want you to share anything else. So it's incumbent upon you to invoke your right to remain silent. I am appointing an attorney to represent you. I can only go off of what I've read and what you shared with the court, which is that you all were residing together at the time of this incident. It was alleged, the court reviewed the warrantless arrest affidavit, found Mr. Alexander is the alleged victim. That may or may not be the case, but that's the way it reads right now. Your bond is $3,500. Do not go back to that property unescorted until the matter is resolved or until you and your lawyers get another judge to modify that condition. Do you understand, ma'am?
Yes.
Okay. Please do not violate any laws while out on bond. Are you able to make the bond, ma'am, of $3,500?
So it's 3,000?
Yes.
It's not 3,500 because I'm here.
$3,500.
Okay, yes.
This is a misdemeanor offense. You have the option of waiving your preliminary hearing. Do you wish to waive your preliminary hearing?
Yes.
Thank you, ma'am. Please sign your waiver. Your next court date will come in the mail. As stated, I have appointed an attorney to represent you. Have a good day. Next, we will have Summer Terry.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon. How are you?
I'm feeling better. God bless.
I'm sure. I'm doing well. Shannon Gaskin will be next. Ma'am, you are charged with possession of marijuana less than an ounce. Do you waive the formal reading of your charges?
No, ma'am, go ahead, please.
No, ma'am. You want me to read it?
Ma'am, I'm sorry. Please read
You
it.
say yes, ma'am. I can't hear you.
Yes, ma'am, please read it. I'm sorry. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
She said she can't hear it.
It is accused and is alleged that while talking to the offender due to her involvement in domestic disturbance, the offender gave consent to search her pockets, inside her pockets were a Ziploc tobacco bag with a green leafy substance that it consisted with unburned marijuana. The incident took place in Clayton County. The court reviewed the warrantless arrest affidavit. There's probable cause for these charges. I have approved the charge of possession of marijuana less than an ounce. Your bond is $1,500. You must not violate any laws out on bond. Are you able to make bond, ma'am?
Oh, ma'am, I'm here alone.
You said no?
I'm here alone. No, ma'am.
I'm appointing an attorney to represent you. This is a misdemeanor offense. Do you wish to waive your preliminary hearing?
I was wondering if I can get a signature line.
The court will give you a signature bond, and by getting a signature bond, you are waiving your preliminary hearing. So your next court date will come in the mail. Have a good day. Please sign your waiver.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Please make sure Ms. Terry signs her waiver. We'll have Shannon Gaskin next.
Your Honor, she's in medical.
That's where Mr. Jackson is, well, right?
Mr. Jackson is not in medical, but he is isolated.
So we got to do them, both of them last, right?
What does it say? No.
I can't hear you all. So we need to wait for Gaskin.
We're gonna have to do her after we finish this. We gotta go to medical.
Okay, thank you so much. I know y'all got a lot going on. May I have Ginger Hernandez, please? Does she speak English?
Yes.
Okay, may I have Ginger Hernandez, please?
So once you finish with the females, the one that has the extradition, he speaks English, but it is still two others that don't.
Okay, so we have two. Are they male or female?
They're males.
Okay, so what I'll do is let's bring those two up first. So so you said we do not need an interpreter for the fugitives.
No, he speaks perfect English. He was born here.
Okay, Ms. Bermudez, you can still sit tight. We're gonna finish the lady inmates first. So, but just know that we'll do your Spanish speaking inmates right after. Do you have to get somewhere?
No, ma'am.
So sit tight for the court, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And you are Ms. Hernandez?
Your Honor.
You speak English?
Ma'am, Your Honor.
Okay. You are charged with giving a false name. Understand your charge and waive the formal reading of your charge.
Yes, ma'am.
Your bond is $2,000. You must not violate any laws while out on bond. Are you able to make bond?
No, ma'am.
That was a yes or no?
No.
I can't hear you, ma'am.
I thought my brother was gonna buy me out, but he did not. So I'm just gonna follow this, make this rough right through.
So you said you're not able to make bond.
My brother might, but I'm probably not.
Do you wish to waive your preliminary hearing?
No, ma'am.
Your next court date will be August 18th at 8 a.m. in room 201. Have a good day.
When?
August 18th.
Okay.
Have a good day. Julie and Kelly?
18th.
Yes, ma'am.
Writing it down, sir.
Thank you. Julie and Kelly is a male. I'm sorry. Or is it? Julie and Kelly, is that a male or a lady?
Julian Kelly? That's a female.
Can we have her next, please?
You're going way on, bro.
Thank you. morning, ma'am. Afternoon, I should say.
How are you?
I'm well, ma'am. You're charged with cruelty to children in the first degree. Do you waive the formal reading of your charge?
Do I what now?
Do you waive the formal reading of your charge, or do you wish to have me read it aloud? We are streaming live on YouTube. I have no problem reading it aloud or not.
No.
Okay, so you understand the nature of your charge.
Correct.
All right, your bond is $20,000. You are to stay away from Cadence Sanford. You must not violate any laws of out on bond. Are you able to make bond?
Yes, I am.
Your next court date is going to be September 28th at 8 a.m. in room 201. And I have appointed an attorney to represent you. Have a good day, ma'am. Janie Lyons. Is she bond out?
Ryan,
To the podium.
good boy.
Hey.
Your Honor, we can't hear you.
You said you can't hear me?
No, Your Honor.
Give me 1 second. I'm trying to take care of some stuff offline. Give me a second.
What's the name one?
All right, Ms. Lyons, you were charged with possession of marijuana less than an ounce. Do you waive the formal reading of your charges?
Yes.
Your bond is $1,500. You must not violate the laws of out on bond. Are you able to make bond?
Yes. It should already be paid for by now.
Okay. This is a misdemeanor. Do you wish to waive your preliminary hearing?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Please sign your waiver. Your next court date will come in the mail. Have a good day, ma'am. We'll take Casey Prince up next.
State your name.
Hello, Casey Prano.
Hello, ma'am. You are charged with possession of marijuana less than an ounce. Do you waive the formal reading of your charge?
Yes, ma'am.
Your bond is $1,500. You are not to violate the laws of out on bond. Are you able to make bond?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Could I do signature bond?
Give me 1 second. Court will give you a OR bond, a signature bond. It's OR, which means that you will sign off on it. If you do not come back to court, you will be held on a bond. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you waive your out on your signature? You will be waiving your preliminary hearing. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
As such, please sign the waiver with the deputies. Your next court date will come in the mail. Have a good day.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. Heather Shaddix. You are charged with battery family violence. Your bond is $3,500. You are to stay away from Emily Ballou. You must not return to 6363 Amberley Road in Rex, Georgia. It is indicated on the warrant that this is your residence. As such, the court will allow you to return with the sheriff's escort for the limited purpose of retrieving your personal property. However, you cannot go back to that property unescorted. Do you understand?
Now, can I ask you a question?
I'm not finished, but once I'm finished, you can ask me a question. You must also not violate any laws out on bond. And I wanted to ask you, do you wish to waive the formal reading of your charges?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, what is your question?
I take care of my elderly parents that live there. I've already talked to them, and my daughter is going to go stay with her dad in Noonan.
No, ma'am, because you are the alleged. Now, I'm not saying that won't be forever. Please understand me. Based on what I'm reading right now, the court will not allow you to go back to that property unescorted. I am appointing an attorney to represent. Speak with your lawyer about maybe getting this modified by another judge, because the judge, if the prosecutor is on board and your daughter's on board, that may be something that they'll do. But based on where we sit right now, you are not able to go back to that property unescorted, okay?
Okay.
These are misdemeanor offenses. This means you have the option of waiving your preliminary hearing. Do you waive your preliminary hearing?
Yes, ma'am.
And you said you're able to make bond, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, please sign your waiver. Your next court date will come in the mail. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Demetria Thomas.
Yes, ma'am.
Hello, ma'am.
Hello.
You are charged with driving under the influence, driving on the wrong side of the road, leaving the scene of an accident, and no insurance. Do you waive the formal reading of your charges?
Yes, ma'am.
You say yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Your bond is $8,000. You must not violate any laws while out on bond. Are you able to make bond?
Ma'am.
These are all misdemeanor offenses, which mean you have the option of waiving your preliminary hearing. Do you wish to waive your preliminary hearing?
Ma'am.
Thank you. Please sign your waiver. Your next court date will come in the mail. Have a good day.
Your Honor, from the first sheet, we still have a female Cardwell, and we just got Gaskin from medical.
Okay, give me 1 second. Carswell, I don't have a Carswell unless I put him in the wrong stat. Give me 1 second, okay? What about Dejanay Walker?
He's right here, Your Honor.
Okay. Give me 1 second. Are you Miss Walker? You were charged with a felony count on violation of the Controlled Substances Act, trafficking in methamphetamines, and driving on a suspended license. Do you waive the formal reading of your charges? Do you want me to read your charges aloud? We are streaming live on YouTube. So you waive the formal reading of your charges?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. You do not have a bond at this time. I am appointing an attorney to represent you. Your next court date will be September 28th at 8 a.m. in room 201. Have a good day. Is Gaskin up here yet, or are you still waiting?
Gaskin is here, Your Honor.
Let's do her next, and then I'll look for the other lady that you were speaking of. Ms. Gaskin,
Yes.
you are charged with battery, family violence, and criminal trespass. Do you waive the formal reading of your charges?
Well, what is that?
That means that we are broadcasting live, and if you waive the formal reading of your charges and you understand the nature of your charge, I do not need to read your warrants aloud. However, if you want, I can read your warrants aloud so you can know what you're charged with. Do you waive the formal reading of your charges, or you want to have your charges read aloud?
Not guilty. What was?
We're not pleading anything right now, ma'am. I'm just telling you what you've been charged with. You're charged with battery, family violence, and criminal trespass. You have the option for me to waive the reading of your formal charges and just allow you to go forward with me telling you what you're charged with, giving you your bond, and moving forward. The other option is for me to read your charges aloud. Which do you prefer, ma'am?
Reading, going forward. Can I ask one question?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, in my home, the place, that's my.
It doesn't sound like you're about to ask a question. It sounds like you're about to give me some information. So I need you to answer my question first, ma'am. And then I'm gonna read off the bond to you. And then if you still have a question, you can ask it at that time. The only question I'm asking you right now is, do you wish for me to read your formal charges? No. So that's waived. Your bond is $7,000. You are to stay away from James Buford. You cannot return to 852 Garden Walk Boulevard in Atlanta because it was indicated on the warrant that this is your residence. You can go back with a sheriff's deputy for the only for the purpose of retrieving your personal property. You cannot go to that property unescorted. Let the court finish, please, ma'am. You cannot go back to that property unescorted unless and until this property, this bond condition is modified by another judge, and you must not violate any laws while out on bond. Now, what do you still have a question?
Yes, I was trying to say, yes, that's my everything. That's my home. The apartment is not James Buford name or anybody, any other tenant's name. It's in my name, including my lights and everything. That's I did that on my own. I paid.
Yes, ma'am. And let me stop you. That is generally a trend that we see. Unfortunately, the court is not inclined to just allow you to go back there. Based on my review, he's the alleged victim. And so let me finish, ma'am. I'm not saying it's true. I'm saying based on my review, I've appointed you an attorney that you can speak with. your lawyer have the option of discussing with the prosecutor and another modifying that condition that will allow you to go back to that property. But from where the court sits, you are not allowed to go back to that property. Do you understand, ma'am? You have to agree. I'm just asking, do you understand the special conditions? Is that a yes, ma'am?
You said to y'all modify it, sweetie. I understand. We're getting this over with so we can get it going.
No. And let me be clear. I'm not saying that you're guilty of it. I'm not saying that I understand that your name is on the lease. I'm sure it's very frustrating if you're paying rent at a place. However, from where the court sits, I cannot allow you to go back there unless you talk with another prosecutor and they deal with some stuff like that and another judge and go from there. So just understand, you can go back and get your personal property with a sheriff's escort, but please don't go back there. Otherwise, you'll be in violation of the order. Do you understand, ma'am?
Yes, I do.
These are misdemeanor offenses, which means you have the option of waiving your preliminary hearing. Do you wish to waive your preliminary hearing?
What is it? I'm not so used to being in the law.
I understand, ma'am. I understand. What I'm going to do is set you down for a preliminary hearing that will take place on August 18th at 8 a.m. in room 201. I have appointed an attorney to represent you. As I stated earlier, you and your lawyer can discuss whether or not you want to waive your waive your preliminary hearing at a later date. As of right now, since you don't understand, I'm going to say that you do not waive it, and I'm setting you down for a date. Have a good one, ma'am. What was the name of the lady that we're waiting on, Deputy? That you said I missed?
Carswell,
You spell her name for me?
Carswell.
Could she potentially have another last name?
She went to first appearance a couple of days ago, Your Honor. I'm not sure why she's back on, but
she's not on my calendar. So,
because what it looks like when I looked her up in the computer, she went and I guess at first appearance, I don't know whether something was written up wrong. They released the charges and then it was like the charge came back. Maybe it was written up wrong.
I do not have a Carswell on my,
Okay, because she went over the weekend. She went Saturday, the first appearance.
Do me a favor, put her in holding. I'm gonna send an email to intake, and we'll do the male inmates, and if they do have paperwork for her, then we'll handle her now. But I want to try to get this done. So let's keep moving with Mr. Colburn. We'll put her to the side, and I will ask him if they have any. What's her first name?
Shaniqua.
Okay, could you spell that for me?
Shaniqua. Yeah, but she already went to first appearance Saturday, but she was released on that charge and it was rebooked on it.
Okay.
Who do you want to go with next, Shauna?
Mr. Colburn.
You're going to the males or the females?
Yes, we don't have any more women, do we?
We have 2 days. We have the other day, 8/10.
That's all that I have. Who do you say that we need?
We have the ones from the tip.
Okay, give me their names. I'm hoping that we haven't missed anything because I printed out all of the paperwork and I don't see anybody else in the women's set.
Sheets full of people. We have
how many?
We have 50 people total.
Okay, I just need you to give me some of the women's names so I can start looking through my paperwork because from where I sit, I have a lot of males from 2 days. I don't have any other women.
Jenkins, last name Jenkins. It should be 3 left on the other paper. Jenkins, Persons, and
those names sound familiar, so I may have just put them in the wrong set. Give me a second.
Yes, Your Honor.
Jenkins, Perkins, and who else? For some reason, I'm not seeing them. Give me a moment.
Okay, y'all, I think you did them all.
Thank you. I thought I did, but look, you had me paranoid. So let's go ahead with Mr. Colburn, please.
Colburn.
Thank you. After Mr. Colburn, we will take Ernest Curry. If, as I'm calling these names, you find that we actually did miss some people, just let me know, okay?
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. Get the Spanish-speaking inmates first. I forgot we had Ms. Bermudez. She's been very patient. Who do we have? I'm sorry, Deputy.
One last name is Asiano. And
Okay.
Yanez.
Okay, thank you so much. I know y'all working hard. We gonna get it together. Okay, so Yanez is the first Spanish speaking, right? And then Ayes or something like that.
One starts with an A, one starts with a Y.
Okay.
This is the one with the A.
Asensio. Let's do both of them at the same time. Because I want her to be able to read and we can.
Le digo a este, dice sí, tal vez no.
Judge, may I ask them their names?
Yes, please.
¿Me dan sus nombres, por favor?
Asensio Macías.
Asensio Matías
Macías.
Macías.
Yanez.
José Taide Yáñez
¿Y el
Echeverría.
suyo?
José Taide Yáñez Echeverría.
José.
Taide
¿Y el apellido?
es Yáñez. José Yáñez.
Yanes.
Sí.
Yanez y Asensio.
Yanes y Asensio.
Your Honor, Mr. Gaskin also advises that he needs an interpreter.
What does he speak?
He's from Panama. He speaks Spanish also. He speaks
Okay,
English, but he would rather hear what you're about to say in Spanish.
thank you. Okay, so please introduce yourself to Mr. What's his name?
¿Cuál es el nombre suyo?
Craig Gaskin.
Repítame el apellido.
Craig Gaskin.
Gaston.
Okay, Craig Gaston. All right. But the guy, so we don't have Asensio. That's what's making me confused.
We do have an Asensio, Judge, but that's the first name. Asensio Macias. That's the first one.
Oh, they put it out of order. Thank you. That's why we have you here. Before we go further, Madam Interpreter, please raise your right hand.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you swear to interpret from English to Spanish and Spanish to English in accordance with your training and experience? So help you if so, say I do.
I do.
Okay. I'm going to read, if you can introduce yourself briefly so I can pull up one more piece of paper.
Muy buenas tardes. Mi nombre es Deyanira Bermúdez y yo voy a ser su intérprete en la tarde de hoy.
Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Buenas tardes.
Buenas tardes.
Good afternoon.
This is your appearance before the Magistrate Court of Clayton County.
Esta es su comparecencia ante el Tribunal de Primera Instancia del Condado de Clayton.
We are not here to try your case or take a plea.
No estamos aquí para juzgar su caso o para aceptar una declaración.
You are here for the court to inform you of the charges against you.
Usted está acá para que la jueza le informe cuáles son los cargos en su contra.
To inform you of your rights.
Para informarle de cuáles son sus derechos.
To set bail on your certain offenses.
Para fijarle fianza en ciertos delitos.
And to determine whether you require an attorney.
Y para decidir si usted va a requerir la asistencia de un abogado.
You have the right to remain silent and say nothing.
Usted tiene el derecho de permanecer en silencio y de no decir nada.
Should you give up this right, anything you say may be used against you.
Y si usted renuncia a este derecho, cualquier cosa que usted diga podría ser usada en su contra.
During this and all other proceedings, you have the following rights.
Durante este y todo el siguiente proceso, usted va a tener los siguientes derechos.
You have the right to the presumption of innocence until the state proves your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt.
Usted tiene el derecho a la presunción de inocencia hasta que el Estado pruebe su culpabilidad más allá de una duda razonable.
You have the right to indictment by grand jury for felonies or the right to indictment by accusation for misdemeanors.
Usted tiene el derecho a que se le acuse formalmente siguiendo o usando el... I'm sorry, Judge, can you repeat that again?
A right to be accused by accusation for misdemeanors or an indictment by grand jury for felonies.
Usted tiene el derecho de que se le formule una acusación si es un delito menor o que se le haga una acusación formal por el gran jurado si es un delito grave.
Sí. You have the right to a speedy and public trial by jury.
Usted tiene el derecho de tener un juicio rápido y por jurado.
You have the right to see, hear, and cross-examine witnesses who are brought to testify against you.
Usted tiene el derecho de ver, escuchar y contrainterrogar a cualquier testigo que sea traído a testificar en su contra.
You have the right to subpoena your own witnesses for your own testimony.
Usted tiene el derecho de citar a sus propios testigos para que den su testimonio a su favor.
Or your own evidence, I should say.
O debería yo decir de traer sus propias pruebas.
You also have the right to offer testimony on your own behalf.
También tiene usted el derecho de presentar testimonio para que sea usado a su favor.
This is a choice, and if you choose not to, no presumption of your guilt can be raised.
Esto es una opción que usted tiene, y si usted elige no hacerlo, esto no se puede usar como si usted fuera culpable, o no se puede asumir que usted es culpable por esta razón.
You have the right to have an attorney represent you, and I am appointing each of you an attorney.
Usted tiene el derecho de tener un abogado para que lo represente, y yo le voy a nombrar a cada uno de ustedes un abogado.
I have given each of you all a bond.
Yo le he dado a cada uno de ustedes, o le he asignado a cada uno de ustedes fianza.
You can make this bond using cash, a commercial bonding company, or property.
Usted puede pagar esta fianza usando dinero en efectivo, usando una propiedad o usando una compañía fiancista.
If you do a cash bond, someone will bring the total amount of bond in cash to the jail.
Si usted usa el dinero en efectivo, alguien tiene que traer la cantidad de dinero en efectivo a la cárcel.
Once your matter is concluded, the cash will be returned.
Y tan pronto su asunto concluya, el dinero le sería reembolsado.
Someone may use a bonding company which charges a fee for the bond.
También puede usar una compañía fiancista y ellos le cobran una tarifa para pagar su fianza.
This fee can be up to 15% of the bond and will not be returned.
Esta cantidad o esta tarifa podría ser hasta 15% de la fianza y esta cantidad no le sería reembolsada.
You may also have someone use property to post bond as long as the property has equity at least 3 times the amount of your bond.
Usted también puede hacer que alguien que tenga propiedad use su propiedad, pero esta propiedad tiene que tener por lo menos 3 veces en equidad la cantidad total de la fianza.
Each of you all will have special conditions on your bond. At minimum, you shall not violate any laws while out of bond.
Cada uno de ustedes van a tener condiciones especiales en su fianza. Por lo menos, ninguno de ustedes pueden infringir las leyes mientras estén fuera bajo fianza.
There may also be a condition for you to stay away from other people, alleged victims, or certain places, and you will be required to acknowledge that today.
También puede ser que exista la condición de que usted se mantenga alejado de ciertas personas, de las presuntas víctimas o de otras personas, o de otros lugares, perdón. Y a usted se le va a pedir que reconozca haber recibido una notificación de esto en el día de hoy.
If you cannot have any contact with the alleged victim while you are in jail.
Usted no puede tener ningún tipo de contacto con la presunta víctima mientras usted esté en la cárcel.
If you violate the bond, you will not be entitled to another bond and a new charge could be brought against you.
Y si usted quebranta o infringe las condiciones de su fianza, no le darían fianza nuevamente y le podrían imputar nuevos cargos.
If you are, this does not apply, so I'm not gonna read this part to them. If you have a family member to help you, they cannot be the alleged victim. They cannot, alleged victim cannot help you post bond. That's it.
La presunta víctima no le puede a usted ayudar a pagar la fianza.
I will schedule a preliminary hearing for each of you. If you bond out, you will be waiving your preliminary hearing.
Yo le voy a programar su audiencia preliminar a cada uno de ustedes, pero si usted sale bajo fianza, la audiencia preliminar se cancela.
We'll take Mr. Marcios first. What's the question?
¿Cuál es la pregunta?
Yo tengo una misdemeanor. ¿Por qué necesitaré otra cosa? Nada más hablando palabra mal con una otra persona ahí en la calle.
Perdón, no le escucho. Usted dijo que usted tiene un misdemeanor y qué cosa?
Sí, para hablar una palabra mal con una otra persona ahí en la calle, hablando, nosotros hablando, practicando, hablando palabra mal, le ponen nosotros en la cárcel nomás. No tengo pelear, no tengo ni friando ni nada.
Your Honor, the interpreter is only getting bits and pieces of what was.
Tell them to come forward and speak loudly.
Acérquese un poquito y hable un poquito más alto.
Yo lo tengo, la cargo, yo lo tengo, es nada más de hablando palabra mal con otra persona cuando le ponen mí en la cárcel. Yo no tengo nada más de...
The only charges that I have was that I was talking on the street with another person.
Tell him this is not the time to defend himself.
Este no es el momento para usted defenderse.
He can step back. We're going to do Mr. Marcios first, and he's going to stop trying to run this.
Okay, señor Macías, usted va a ser la primera persona.
Okay.
Sir, you are charged with violation of the Controlled Substances Act, which is a felony.
Señor, a usted se le acusa de quebrantar las leyes antidrogas del condado del estado de Georgia, y esto es un delito grave.
You are charged with theft by receiving stolen property.
A usted se le acusa de hurto por recibir propiedad robada.
You are charged with possession of firearm during the commission.
A usted se le acusa de poseer un arma de fuego mientras cometía un delito.
Do you waive the formal reading of your charges?
Lee usted,
let me finish, Ms. Bermudez. Do you waive the formal reading of your charges, or do you wish to have me read the details aloud?
¿Renuncia usted a la lectura formal de sus cargos o quiere usted que le lea los detalles en voz alta?
Léame los detalles en voz alta, por favor.
Read the details out loud.
One moment.
Un momento.
Okay.
I apologize, Judge. I thought that you would finish.
No, it's okay. I just want to make sure he has the option. So here we go. Are you ready?
Yes, ma'am.
He did commit the offense of having possession of a firearm.
Usted cometió el delito de tener en su posesión un arma de fuego.
Under the front passenger seat of his vehicle.
En el asiento del pasajero de su vehículo, o en el asiento delantero del pasajero de su vehículo.
The firearm was ran through GCIC.
Pusimos la información del arma de fuego en la base de datos.
And came back as stolen.
Y regresó la información de que había sido robada.
The offender also committed the offense of having a Schedule II drug, cocaine, after arrest search.
Y al infractor también cometió el delito de tener una sustancia clasificada 2, la cual era cocaína, después de haberlo revisado o registrado.
Your bond is $21,000. You shall not violate any laws while out on bond.
Su fianza es de $21,000. Usted no puede infringir ninguna de las leyes mientras esté fuera bajo fianza.
Are you able to make bond?
¿A usted poder pagar su fianza?
¿Yo puedo pagar la fianza?
I can pay the bond.
Your next court date will be September 28th at 8 a.m. in room 201.
Su próxima corte va a ser el 28 de septiembre a las 8 de la mañana en la sala 201.
Okay, okay.
Next is Mr. Yanez.
El próximo es el señor Yanes.
You are charged with false imprisonment and battery family violence. Do you perform a reading of your charge, or do you wish to have you read out all of your details aloud? We are streaming live on YouTube.
A usted se le acusa de aprisionamiento ilegal o indebido. Judge, the interpreter didn't get the second charge.
Battery family violence.
Y de agresión corporal, violencia doméstica. ¿Usted quiere que se le lea la acusación o los cargos en voz alta o renuncia usted al derecho de que se le lea? Nosotros estamos transmitiendo en vivo vía YouTube.
Está bien que lo lea.
That's fine. You can read it.
It is accused that the offender did commit the offense of false imprisonment.
Se acusa de que el agresor, el infractor, cometió el delito de aprisionamiento ilegal.
When he held his wife against her will.
Cuando él mantuvo a su esposa en contra de su voluntad.
Refusing to allow her to leave the house.
Negándose a permitirle que ella saliera de la casa.
He did commit the offense of simple battery.
Y él cometió el delito de agresión corporal.
Family violence.
Violencia doméstica. I'm sorry.
When he, against his wife, caused bruising to her arms.
Cuando él le causó moratones al brazo de su esposa.
During a bruising, did I say the bruising her arms?
Yes, ma'am.
By grabbing her during a domestic dispute.
Cuando él la agarró durante la disputa doméstica.
Bond is $30,000.
Su fianza de
away from Catherine Galicia.
Tiene que mantenerse alejado de Catherine Galicia.
And your bond is you sell them $30,000, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
You are not to return to 4357 Ridge Drive.
No puede regresar a la 4357 Ridge Drive.
You must not violate any laws while out on bond.
No puede infringir ninguna de las leyes mientras esté fuera bajo fianza.
Your next court date will be September 28th at 8 a.m. in room 201.
Su próxima corte va a ser el 28 de septiembre a las 8 de la mañana.
Are you able to make bond?
En la sala de 201. ¿Va usted a poder pagar su fianza?
¿Cuánto es, perdón?
How much is it? I'm sorry.
$30,000.
$30,000.
¿En qué sala es la corte, la próxima corte?
What courtroom is it?
201. Are you able to make bond?
201. ¿Va usted a poder pagar su fianza?
Estoy seguro.
No le
Sí or
escuché.
no?
¿Va usted a poder pagar su fianza, sí o no?
Sí.
Yes.
¿Puedo hacer una pregunta?
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
Sí.
En este caso, ¿qué pasaría si no puedo pagar la fianza?
In this case, what would happen if I can't pay the bond?
If you cannot pay the bond, you will be held until your next court date, which is September 28th. You have an attorney.
Si usted no puede pagar su fianza, usted lo tendrían detenido hasta su próxima corte el día 28 de septiembre. Usted tiene un abogado.
Have a good day.
Que pase buen día.
Craig Gaskin. Please inform Mr. Gaston that based on his earlier behavior, the court is telling him that this is not the time to share with me his defense.
Señor Gaston, basado en el comportamiento que usted tuvo anteriormente, lo que la jueza le quiere informar es que este no es el momento para usted decirle a ella cómo ocurrieron las cosas.
Thank you. You are charged with disorderly conduct.
A usted se le
And your charge?
I'm sorry, Judge.
I'm sorry, I'm going too quickly. I'm trying to get this moving, but I understand he needs to understand. So I'll start over. You are charged with disorderly conduct.
A usted se le acusa de alterar el orden público.
Do you understand your charge?
¿A usted, entiende usted de lo que se le acusa?
Sí.
Yes.
Do you waive formal reading of your charges?
Renuncia usted a la lectura formal de los cargos.
Sí, está bien.
Yes, that's fine.
Your bond is $1,500.
Su fianza es de $1,500.
You are to stay away from the victim,
Tiene que mantenerse alejado de la víctima
and you must not violate any laws while out on bond.
y no puede infringir las leyes mientras esté fuera bajo fianza.
Are you able to make bond?
¿Va usted a poder pagar su fianza?
No.
No.
Mi mamá murió la lunes pasado.
Do you wish to waive your preliminary hearing?
¿Quiere usted renunciar a tener su audiencia preliminar?
Sí.
Yes.
Do you know what? Let's not do that. Because he doesn't have his attorney with him, and I want to make sure he fully understands. I'm going to set his court date for August 18th, but he can always waive it once he speaks with his lawyer.
Ok, no vamos a hacer esto porque usted no tiene su abogado y nos queremos asegurar de que usted entiende completamente. Le voy a fijar su audiencia preliminar para el 18 de agosto, August 18th, Judge.
Yes. See, yes. That's it for him. Tell him to have a good day, please.
Eso sería todo para usted. Pase usted buen día.
Thank you. Next, we will have Gregory Palmer, and thank you, Madam Interpreter. You can be excused.
Thank you, Judge. Have a good afternoon.
You too. Thank you. Gregory Colburn. After Gregory Colburn, we'll do Ernest Curry. Everybody listen up. The court is going to try to move quickly through this calendar. I know you all have been standing for quite some time, and I know you want to get on with your day. Some of you have bonds. You want to get this paperwork process so you can get out. So please listen carefully so we can move forward. Mr. Colburn, you are charged with simple battery. Do you understand your charge and waive the formal reading of your charge? Or do you want your charges read aloud, understanding that we are broadcasting live on YouTube?
I understand my charges.
All right, your bond is $3,500. You ought to stay away from Ashika Reese, and you must not violate any laws out on bond. Do you all still reside together?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so you are to stay away from her, not violate any laws out on bond. This is a misdemeanor offense. You have the option of waiving your preliminary hearing. Do you wish to waive your preliminary hearing?
What does that mean? Speedy trial?
Yes or no? We already went over it 4 or 5 times, sir. So because you still do not understand, I'm not upset with you. I'm going to go ahead and set you down for a preliminary hearing at August 18th at 8 a.m. in room 201. You indicated to the court that you were going to make bond. If you make bond, you are going to be waiving your preliminary hearing anyway. Have a good day, sir. I did not ask you, are you able to make bond? I didn't ask you that.
Ma'am.
You are able.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, have a good day, sir.
What was my bond?
$3,500. Next, we will have Robert Ernest Curry. After Mr. Curry, we will have Danny Daniel. Mr. Curry, you are charged of criminal trespass. Do you understand your charge and waive formal reading? Thank you, sir. Your bond is $3,500. You are to stay away from Tina. Is it Pierres?
Yes.
Okay, you're to stay away from her. You should not return to 6668 Homestead Road in Rex, Georgia. It was indicated that this is your residence, so the court will allow you to go back with a sheriff's escort for the limited purpose of retrieving your personal property. However, do not go back to that property unescorted unless and until this matter is resolved or until this condition is modified by another judge. You must also not violate any laws out on bond. Do you understand, Mr. Curry?
Ma'am.
Are you able to make bond? You say yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. This is a misdemeanor, so you have the option of waiving your preliminary hearing. Do you wish to waive your preliminary hearing?
I don't know what you mean.
So if anybody's listening in the hallway, I don't know why people are not understanding. I'm gonna do it one more time. I'm not upset, but just understand this is slowing us down by having to explain this 5 or 6 times. So I'll share it one more time. I know we're broadcasting and I'm speaking loud enough. Hopefully everybody is listening, okay? Facing a misdemeanor charge only. This means a preliminary hearing is a very low bar. All they're doing is determine is there enough probable cause to hold you on these charges. Because you are facing a misdemeanor only, you have the option of waiving that preliminary hearing automatically altogether, moving your matter along quicker through the system, going ahead to your arraignment, and then deciding if you want to plead not guilty or plead guilty or whatever, handling your case. If you choose not to do that and have your preliminary hearing, then that is one other step before you get to that process. If you bond out, it is the procedure of the court that you will waive your preliminary hearing anyway. Hopefully you and everybody else has heard that. Now that you heard it again, sir, do you wish to waive your preliminary hearing or do you wish for me to set you down for a preliminary hearing?
No, I would waive it. I'm gonna bond out.
Okay, so your preliminary hearing is waived. Please make sure you sign your waiver, sir. Your next court date will come in the mail. Have a good day. Daniel Danny. Or Danny Daniel. Good afternoon, sir. You are charged with a fray. Do you understand your charge and waive the formal reading, or do you wish to have your charges read aloud?
I understand.
Your bond is $1,000. You are to stay away from Robert Olive, and you must not violate any laws out on bond. Are you able to make bond?
Yes, ma'am.
This is a misdemeanor. Do you wish to waive your preliminary hearing?
No.
Your next court date will be August 18th at 8 a.m. in room 201. Have a good day. Brandon German. Deputy, we are going to go ahead and do the first appearance for Ms. Carswell. So thank you for bringing that to my attention. She can continue to hold there, getting me her paperwork, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you so much for bringing that to the court's attention. Mr. German, you are charged with no tail lights, driving under suspended object, a license, use of possession of drug-related objects, a brake light violation, a tinted window violation, open container, and possession of marijuana less than an ounce. Do you understand your charge and waive the formal reading of your charges?
Yes, ma'am.
Your bond is $5,500. You must not violate any laws out on bond. Are you able to make bond, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
These are misdemeanor offenses, which means you have the option of waiving your preliminary hearing. Do you wish to waive your preliminary hearing?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Please sign your waiver. Your next court date will come in the mail.
Thank you.
Have a good day. Ryan Harris. Please make sure people, I know we're going fast. Make sure people who are waiving, sign their waivers because we've had some issues with that before and it does slow things down throughout my day. Mr. Harris, you are charged with battery, family violence, and cruelty to children in the 3rd degree. Your bond is $14,000. You are to stay away from Nadia Barneswell and Nivea Barneswell. Before I continue, do you waive the formal reading of your charges?
Yes.
You are to stay away from Nivea Barneswell and Nadia Barneswell. You cannot return to 1090 Hollywood Road in Atlanta, Georgia. You must not violate any laws out on bond. Are you able to make bond?
Yes.
This is not a preliminary, excuse me. These are misdemeanor offenses, which means you have the option of waiving your preliminary hearing. Do you wish to waive your preliminary hearing?
Yes. Can you say my bond again? Tell me my bond.
$14,000. Please sign your waiver. Your next court date will come in the mail. Have a good day. Johnson. Mr. Johnson, you are charged with improper lane change and driving under the influence. Do you understand the nature of your charges or do you wish to have your warrants read aloud? Your bond is $20,500. Your bond is so high because you have an extensive history of this similar crime. So are you able to make bond at $20,500?
No.
This is a misdemeanor offense. You have the option of waiving your preliminary hearing, or would you like me to set you down for a preliminary hearing?
I like the way.
Please sign your waiver. Your next court date will come in the mail. In the event that you do not bond out, sir, I'm not finished.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Okay. In the event that you do not bond out, they will bring you up for your first court date to get the matter moving. Okay. Thank you. Have a good day. Sign your waiver, sir. Are you Mr. McDowell?
Yes, ma'am.
Give me one moment. You are charged with improper lane change, felony count of violation of the Georgia Controlled Substances Act, possession of a Schedule I controlled substance, possession with intent to distribute, 2 counts of use to possession of drug-related objects, possession of a weapon during the commission of a crime, open container, possession of a firearm by a convicted felon, crossing the guard lines, and possession of marijuana less than an ounce. The court has dismissed 2 of your charges. The court has dismissed 1 of your use of possession of drug-related charges and drug-related items charge, and the court has dismissed your crossing the guard line charge. The rest of your charges still stand as the court found that there's probable cause for those charges. Do you waive formal reading of your charges, or would you have your charges read aloud?
I wish to have my charges read. Well, you just read them, so.
No, I didn't. I read them. I'm talking about reading the details of your charges on your warrant. Do you waive that, or do you want to hear that read out loud?
I'll waive the details.
Your bond is $54,000. You must not violate any laws while out on bond. You able to make bond?
Can I ask for a small reduction, Your Honor? So I can
Give me a moment. Court is not inclined to give you a reduction based on the nature of the charge. Are you able to make bond, sir?
I'm gonna have to contact my people more than likely.
I understand. So you're gonna do what you can, right?
No.
I'm appointing an attorney to represent you. Your next court date will be September 28th at 8 a.m. in room 201. Have a good day, sir. Marshall Neal. Hello. Mr. Neal will have Billy Perez. Sir, you are charged with 2 felony counts of violation of the Georgia Controlled Substances Act and improper lane change. Do you understand the nature of your charge, or do you wish to have your formal warrants read aloud?
I understand.
Your bond is $20,500. You must not violate any laws out on bond. Are you able to make bond, sir?
20,000.
$20,500.
Is there any way to get it lower, though?
No, sir. Are you able to make bond?
I have to call them. I have to call them.
I understand. I have appointed an attorney to represent you. You can speak with your lawyer about maybe a way to try to get that bond reduced. As of right now, based on what I reviewed, I find this is an appropriate bond. Your next court date will be September 28th at 8 a.m. in room 201. Have a good day, sir.
Your Honor, Perez is out on bond.
Thank you so much. We will have Lamar Pugh. Can you pronounce your name, sir?
Lamar Pugh.
Okay. You were charged with aggravated assault. Do you understand your charge, or do you wish to have your charges read aloud?
I understand.
You do not have a bond at this time. Should you get a bond, a condition of your bond will be to stay away from Kashif Williams and to not return to the incident location. However, as the court has stated, you do not have a bond at this time. Your next court date will be September 28th at 8 a.m. in room 201. Have a good day.
It was at my house.
Eric Reese.
Yes, ma'am.
After Mr. Reese, we'll have Azante Reed. Sir, you're charged with driving on a suspended license. Do you understand your charge and waive formal reading of your warrants?
Yeah, I understand.
Yes.
Your bond is $1,500. You must not violate any laws of out on bond. Are you able to make bond?
Yeah. Is the future bond available?
I will give you a OR bond.
Thank you.
As such, you will need to sign the waiver. Are you going to sign the waiver?
Yes, ma'am.
Please sign your waiver. Have a good day.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Reed is out on bond, Your Honor.
Thank you. Are you Christian Sanders?
Yes, ma'am.
You are charged with affray and simple assault. Do you understand your charge, or you wish to have your charges read aloud?
I understand my choice.
Your bond is $4,500. You are to stay away from Robert Olive, and you must not violate any laws of out on bond. Are you able to make bond?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you wish to waive your preliminary hearing?
No, ma'am.
Your next court date will be August 18th at 8 a.m. in room 201. Have a good day. Are we doing Khalid Smith next?
Yes.
Thank you. After Mr. Smith, we'll have Michael Stenchcom or McCall. Sir, you were charged with being a fugitive. He's a fugitive, alleged fugitive. We're gonna do the fugitives last.
Okay.
So Michael Stenchcom is next. Are you Mr. Stenchcom?
Oh. Hey, how you doing, ma'am?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm doing good.
Give me a second. I'm trying to put my paperwork together. Got out of order. Sir, you were charged with possession of marijuana less than an ounce, carrying a prowling, carrying a concealed weapon, and carrying a pistol with no license. Do you understand your charge and waive the formal reading of your warrant?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am, I do.
Yes, ma'am, you understand, or yes, ma'am, you want them read?
Understand.
Your bond is $10,500. You must not violate any laws while out on bond. Are you able to make bond?
No, ma'am. But
These are all misdemeanor offenses, which means you have the option of waiving your preliminary hearing. Do you wish to have your preliminary hearing?
no, ma'am.
Your next court date will be August 18th at 8 a.m. in room 201. Have a good day. Michael Thornton.
Yes, ma'am.
Good afternoon, sir. Give me a moment.
Yes, ma'am. On YouTube.
After Mr. Thornton, we'll have Derek Tillison. Sir, you're charged with possession of marijuana less than an ounce. You're also charged with 2 felony drug charges. Do you waive the formal reading of your accusations?
You said that I waive?
Do you waive the formal reading of your charges, your warrants?
I understand, ma'am.
So because you understand it, you wish for me to read everything out loud, or you understand and wish to waive that reading?
I understand. I just want to see if it's possible that I can, I do a job and I'm taking care of 4 kids. I would like to see if I can get a OR.
No, sir, you do not qualify for an OR. Your bond is $1,500, and you must not violate any laws of out on bond. ORs are reserved for misdemeanors. You have 2 felony offenses. So I just want you to understand, I'm not picking on you, but I do not give an OR to any felony offenses.
Okay.
$21,500. Are you able to make bond, sir?
Yes, I am. So
Okay. Your next court date will be September 28th at 8 a.m. in room 201. Have a good day, and I have appointed an attorney to represent you, okay?
ma'am, what is my bond for the whole thing?
$21,500.
What I have to pay?
Oh no, that's gonna depend on what sheriff's company you use. They can take up to 15% of that bond. So anywhere from 10 to 15% is what to come up with, sir. And I'm not good at math. I majored in English.
All right, young lady. Thank you very much, ma'am.
You're welcome. Mr. Tillison, after Mr. Tillison, we'll have Mr. Soups. Sir, you're charged with battery, family violence. Do you understand your charge and waive the formal reading of your accusation, or do you wish to have your charges read aloud?
I think I understand it.
No. So it's a yes or no. You understand? You said you think. So do you understand your charge? I'm not asking, do you agree? Do you understand your charges?
Yes, ma'am.
So you waive the formal reading?
Yes, Your Honor.
Your bond is $25,000. You are to stay away from Mariah Weldon. You are not to return to 501 Roberts Drive, Building 41. And the reason your bond is what it is based on your extensive history. So this is a misdemeanor though. So you do have the option of waiving your preliminary hearing. Do you wish to waive your preliminary hearing, or would you like the court to set you down for a preliminary hearing?
I take a preliminary hearing.
Your next court date is going to be August 18th at 8 a.m. in room, excuse me one second. Your next court date will be at 8 a.m. in room 1 on August 18th. Are you able to make bond?
Yes, ma'am. Excuse me.
All right.
My bond.
Excuse me?
My bond is 25,000.
Yes.
Okay. There's no possible way to lower it.
No, sir. Based on my review, you have a pending case from June. You have a pending case from June of this year.
Okay.
You do have a pending case from June of this year, right? For family violence.
I thought that was done with. Okay.
Okay. Well, if it was done with, that means it was resolved. It wasn't dismissed though, was it?
I thought it was, because they told me I didn't have court anymore.
Okay, it's still showing as pending in my system. So based on that, that's why your bond is where it is. I have appointed an attorney to represent you. Talk with your lawyer. If that's a mistake, then they can go to the judge about getting a lower bond. But the court is not comfortable giving a lower bond based on what I see in my records about what's going on in your history. Okay, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Have a good day.
All right, you too.
Thank you. Ready, Sue? After that, we'll have LaBelle Waters. Sir, good afternoon. You are charged with simple assault. Your bond is $10,000. Do you understand your charge, or you wish to have it read aloud?
Yes, I understand, ma'am.
Your bond is $10,000. You're to stay away from Cheyenne Jackson, and you must not violate any laws while out on bond. Are you to make bond?
Hope so, yes, ma'am.
This is a misdemeanor. Do you wish to waive your preliminary hearing?
No, ma'am.
I can't hear you. Your next court date will be August 18th at 8 a.m. in room 201. Have a good day. LaBelle Waters. After that, we'll have Roger Wilder. Mr. Waters.
Yes, ma'am.
You're charged with battery, family violence, and criminal trespass. This is your second family violence charge. As such, it is a felony charge. Do you understand your charge and waive the formal reading of your warrant, or do you wish to have your warrant read aloud?
Ma'am, I didn't know. So by this being my second one, it become a felony?
Yes. Do you waive the formal reading of your warrants?
Yes, ma'am. But
your bond is $15,000. You are to stay away from Ladidra Cunningham. You cannot return to 634 Roy Huey Road, and it is for residence as indicated on the warrant. So you can go back with a sheriff's escort for the limited purpose of retrieving your personal property. However, you cannot go back to that home unescorted unless this matter is resolved or until that condition is modified by another judge. You must also not violate any laws out on bond. You understand?
yes, ma'am. So like you say, my bond is 15,000.
Yes.
Okay, so that'd be like 1,500 or something, 1,700.
I'm not good at math. I don't try to figure it out because I don't know what the different bonding companies will charge you. They will charge anywhere between 10 and 15%. Your next court date will be September 28th at 8 a.m. in room 201. Are you able to make bond, sir?
I hope I am.
Thank you. Have a good day.
All right.
Roger Wilder.
Yeah, ma'am.
After Mr. Wilder, we will have Eric Young. Sir, you were charged with criminal trespass, simple assault, and terroristic threats. Do you understand your charge and waive the formal reading of your charges?
Man, on my birthday, I was having a good time, so I got over.
Let's stop. Your lawyer's not here with you. The prosecutor's not here with you. Everything you say is being recorded and it's on the record. So I would advise you not to say anything that be your defense and share that with your lawyer, okay? My question to you was, do you understand the nature of your charge? Your answer to me is yes or no.
No.
Okay, so that means you waive the formal reading of your charges?
I don't understand what that means.
Let me read your warrant to you then.
Okay,
He hasn't read it yet.
It is alleged that you damaged the property of the victim, Catherine Austin, without their consent, that you threw a drawer from a dresser, damaging the drawer. The damage is less than $500. You placed the victim in receiving an injury when you threatened to damage the victim's property in the officer's presence while moving towards the victim in an aggressive manner. The threat was recorded on the body cam and the offender is the victim's son. The court reviewed this, found there was probable cause for this warrant and these charges. Your bond is set at $12,000. You are to stay away from Catherine Austin. You cannot return to 1140 Homer Road in Riverdale, Georgia. And you must not violate any laws out on bond. Do you understand?
Yeah, ma'am.
Are you able to make bond?
I try to. Yes, ma'am.
Your next court date is gonna be 28th at 8 a.m. in room 201. Have a good day.
Is all that, the bond, all that together?
Yes.
All that together?
Yes, 12,000.
Okay.
Eric Young. You're charged with disorderly conduct. You understand your charge and waive the formal reading of your accusation? Your warrants.
Yeah, ma'am.
Your bond is $1,500. You will not violate any laws out on bond. Are you able to make bond?
No, ma'am.
This is a misdemeanor. You have the option of waiving your preliminary hearing. Do you waive your preliminary hearing?
No, ma'am.
Your next court date is going to be August 18th at 8 a.m. in room 201. Have a good day. Anthony Bibbs. You were charged with 2 felony counts of violation of the Georgia Controlled Substances Act, criminal attempted burglary, and obstruction of an officer. Your charges and waive the formal reading of your warrants.
Waive? No.
Do you waive the formal reading of your charges?
I don't waive nothing.
It is alleged that you attempted to commit the crime of burglary by making forced entry inside the victim of him fam through the rear sliding entry door while the victim was inside. During a search incident to arrest, the offender had in his possession a small clear bag of methamphetamine, tested positive for meth using a field testing kit, and a small clear bag of MDMA pills, all which were located in a black satchel wrapped around his neck. While the offender was in custody with handcuffs on his wrist behind his back, the offender was escorted to my patrol vehicle and was told to have a seat inside the vehicle. The offender refused to remain inside the vehicle and began actively resisting myself, 3 other officers, by pushing himself out of the vehicle using his feet, which resulted in the offender being placed on the ground. The offender's legs were then placed in shackles to prevent him from kicking officers. Officers then attempted to place the offender in the rear of the patrol vehicle while the offender actively resisted again. In order to claim compliance, the offender was dry stunned using a department issued taser. This incident occurred in Clayton County, Georgia. The court reviewed the warrant as just read to you, found there's probable cause for your arrest for these charges. Your bond is $33,000 and you are away from the alleged victim. You must not go back to the incident location and you must not violate any laws while out on bond. Are you able to make bond? I can't hear you.
Ma'am.
Your next court date will be September 28th at 8 a.m. in room 201. I have appointed an attorney to represent you. Have a good day. Michael Brown. After Mr. Brown, we will have Sorrell Clark. You are charged with possession of marijuana less than an ounce, no tail lights, tinted window violation, and obstruction of an officer. Do you understand your charges and waive your formal reading of your warrants?
I understand, ma'am.
Your bond is $6,000. You must not violate any laws or out on bond. Are you able to make bond, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
These are misdemeanor offenses, which means you have the option of waiving your preliminary hearing. Do you wish to waive your preliminary hearing?
Ma'am.
What was that?
No, ma'am.
Your next court date will be August 18th at 8 a.m. in room 201. Have a good day. Mr. Clark, you are charged with no insurance, suspended license, and a felony count on violation of the Georgia Controlled Substances Act. Do you understand your charges? You do not have a bond at this time. The court has appointed an attorney to represent you. Your next court date will be September 28th at 8 a.m. in room 201. And like I said, appointed an attorney to represent you. Have a good day.
So when was the next court date?
September 28th.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh.
Zachary Cook. Zachary Cook. After Mr. Cook, we will have Reginald Dupton.
Yeah, this is Reginald.
Zachary Cook.
This is Reginald Dupton.
What?
This is Reginald Dupton.
I need Zachary Cook. That's who I'm calling. Is Zachary Cook still in custody?
Hold on, man. I'm looking.
Thank you.
One step back, sir.
Are you Reginald Cook?
Yeah, it's on Zachary Cook.
Zachary Cook, I'm sorry. You are charged with public indecency, simple assault, and interference with the government property. Do you waive formal reading of your warrants?
Yeah.
Your bond is $14,000. Are you able to make bond?
I don't know what that means.
All right. Your bond is $14,000. You must not violate any laws or out on bond. Your next court date will be September 28th at 8 a.m. in room 201. And I have appointed a lawyer to represent you. Have a good day. Reginald Dupton. After Reginald, we will have Kenyatta Finley.
Yeah, this is Reginald. You see me?
Sir, you are charged with criminal trespass, damage to property, and possession of violation of the Georgia Controlled Substances Act as a felony. Do you understand your charge and waive formal reading of your warrants, or you wish to have your charges read aloud?
Yes, ma'am.
You understand, or you wish to have them read aloud?
Yeah. Read aloud.
You want me to read them aloud or you understand?
I understand. You can read them to me. You heard me?
I heard you. I'm pulling it up. Give me a moment, sir.
Good job.
It's alleged that on August 10th, Mr. Dupaton was in violation of the following: possession of a Schedule 4 drug while meeting with College Park Police in reference to a wanted person located. While searching Mr. Dupaton's person, in his right leg pocket tied in a small clear bag, I located 6 green pills with the marking of S903 on them. After searching the pills on drugs.com, I was able to identify the pills as iprazolam, a Schedule 4 drug. I Mirandized Mr. Dupaton. He admitted to buying the pills from an individual in the Chevron gas station located at Old National Highway and Godby Road. This incident occurred in Clayton County, Georgia. It is also alleged that you did intentionally damage the property of Emmanuel Dupaton, your brother, by using a stick to break 6 windows on the front of the house and 2 glass doors on the patio without the consent of the property owner, and the damage is less than $500. The court reviewed both of these, found that there's probable cause. As such, your bond is $10,000. You are to stay away from Emmanuel Dupaton. You cannot return to 7596 Awani Court in Jonesboro Road, and you must not violate any laws out on bond. Are you able to make bond?
I can try to find out, ma'am. That's my house.
The court will allow you to go with the sheriff's escort for the purpose of retrieving your personal property. However, you cannot go back to that property unescorted until this matter is resolved or until the condition is modified by another judge. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am. And what's my bond again?
Your bond is $10,000. Your next court date is going to be September 28th at 8 a.m. in room 201. And I have appointed an attorney to represent you. Have a good day. Let's have Mr. Finney next.
So, excuse me.
Ma'am, sir, come on.
Sir, you are charged with possession with intent to distribute, possession of a weapon during the commission of a crime, possession of marijuana less than an ounce, drugs not in their container, improper lane change, vision obstructed, another count of violation of the Georgia Controlled Substances Act, and possession or use of drug-related objects. Do you understand your charges and waive the formal reading of your warrants?
I don't understand the charges.
So you wish to have your warrants read aloud?
Yes.
That was yes?
Yes.
It is alleged that the said offender did fail to maintain lanes while operating a motor vehicle on State Route 85. A lawful traffic stop was conducted on Howard Street and Church Street, in which said offender was found in possession of less than 1 ounce of green leafy substance suspected to be marijuana, an orange prescription pill bottle with the label scratched off containing peach-colored round pills with G3720 printed on them, believed to be Xanax, and drug-related objects located in the center console. Said offender was also in possession of a firearm. Said offender's vehicle did have a crack in the front windshield, approximately 24 inches in length. Said offender was in possession of drug-related objects, and that said offender did possess small clear plastic bags, a scale commonly used for weighing drugs, and glass containers commonly used in transporting marijuana. The court reviewed this warrantless arrest affidavit, found there's probable cause for the warrantless arrest affidavit. As such, I have approved the request for these warrants. Your bond is $33,500. You are not to violate any laws out on bond. Are you able to make bond?
Yes, ma'am.
Your next court date will be September 28th at 8 a.m. in room 201. I have appointed an attorney to represent you. Have a good day. The next person will be Christopher Howell. Sir, you are charged with criminal trespass. Do you understand your charge and waive the formal reading of your warrant?
Yes.
Can I hear you?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Your bond is $3,500. You are to stay away from Herbert Cooper and you must not violate any laws out on bond. This is a misdemeanor. You have the option of waiving your preliminary hearing. Are you able to make bond?
Yes.
Do you wish to waive your preliminary hearing?
Yes.
Can I hear you?
Yes.
Please sign your waiver. Your next court date will come in the mail. Have a good day. Jesse McCrary. Please make sure that Mr. Howell signs his waiver.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Jesse McCrary, you're charged with driving on suspended license. Do you understand your charge and waive the formal reading of your accusation?
Yes, ma'am.
Your bond is $1,500. You must not violate any laws out on bond. Are you able to make bond?
Yes, ma'am.
This is a misdemeanor offense. You have the option of waiving your preliminary hearing. Do you wish to waive your preliminary hearing?
No, ma'am.
You said no.
No, ma'am.
Your next court date is August 18th at 8 a.m. in room 201. Have a good day.
Thank you.
You're welcome. 7 Peacock. Are you 7 Peacock?
Yes, ma'am.
After Mr. Peacock, we will have Dayon Perrin. Sorry, you were charged with use of possession of marijuana less than an ounce, possession of a weapon during the commission of a crime, and use or possession of drug-related objects. Do you understand your charge and waive the reading of your warrants? Do you wish to have your warrants read aloud? We are streaming live on YouTube. Do you wish to have your warrants read aloud, or do you wish to waive the reading of your warrants?
Yes, ma'am.
You wish to waive the reading?
I wish to have them read aloud.
It is accused that you were found to be in possession of less than 1 ounce of a green leafy substance suspected to be marijuana, and that the substance was found in a blue and clear in color grinding device located in a black bag found at said offender's feet in the vehicle. Said offender was found to be in possession of a firearm, and that firearm was found located in the glove compartment directly in front of the said offender. The court reviewed this warrantless arrest affidavit, found there's probable cause for the warrant as requested. Your bond is $13,000. You must not violate any laws out on bond. Your next court date will be September 28th at 8 a.m. Are you able to make bond?
No, I also say one thing.
I can't hear you. What?
I also say one thing.
Yes.
Okay.
Please be mindful that you are on the record. You do not have a lawyer representing you yet, but go ahead.
Okay. The clear container was CBD. The other one.
You're doing exactly what I thought you were going to do. Just don't say anything else. Talk to your lawyer. Have a good day. Dayon Perrin.
No.
You were charged with possession of marijuana less than an ounce and obstruction of an officer. Do you understand your charge and waive the reading of your warrant? Or do you wish to have them read aloud?
No, ma'am.
You don't want them read aloud?
No, ma'am, I understand.
Thank you. Your bond is $5,000 and you must not violate any laws out on bond. Are you able to make bond?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
These are misdemeanor offenses. You have the option of waiving your preliminary hearing. Do you wish to waive your preliminary hearing?
No, ma'am.
Your next court date will be August 18th at 8 a.m. in room 201. Have a good day.
You do the same thing.
Thank you. Daquan Robinson. Robinson will have Jamal Salam. Sir, you were charged with loitering or prowling, criminal attempted burglary, and criminal trespass. Do you understand your charges, or do you wish and waive your formal reading, or you wish to have your charges read aloud?
I understand.
You do not have a bond at this time. Your next court date will be September 28th at 8 a.m. in room 201. I have appointed an attorney to represent you. Have a good day. Jamal Salam. After Mr. Salam, will have Tyler Sally. Sir, your charge of criminal trespass. Do you understand your charge and waive the formal reading of your warrant, or do you wish to have your warrant read aloud?
I understand, Charles, man.
Your bond is $3,500. You are to stay away from the raceway on Highway 85. You must not violate any laws out on bond. Are you able to make bond, sir?
I have been in touch with my family.
Okay. Do you wish to have your preliminary hearing? This is a misdemeanor.
What that mean?
Your Honor, Your Honor,
Yes.
I don't think he would understand.
Okay. Your court date, write it down for him. It's gonna be August 18th at 8 a.m. in room 201. Thank you for bringing that to the court's attention.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Sally's next.
Come this way, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir, you are charged with criminal trespass, statutory rape, and sodomy. Do you understand your charges and waive the formal reading of your charges, or you wish to have them read aloud?
Read out loud.
You want them read aloud? Give me one moment.
Yes, ma'am.
It is accused that you knowingly entered the home of, I'm gonna keep the victims' names.
Your Honor.
Yes?
No,
Not
ma'am.
like them read
No,
aloud.
ma'am.
Oh, he does. You don't want them read aloud.
No, ma'am.
You do not have a bond at this time. Should you get a bond, a condition of your bond is to stay away from the victim. Her name is written in this document. I'm not going to say it aloud because we are streaming live on YouTube. But should you get a bond, a condition of your bond will be to stay away from her. As stated, you do not have a bond at this time. Your next court date is September 28th at 8 a.m. in room 201. The court has appointed an attorney to represent you. Have a good day. Devon Wiggins. You are charged with possession of marijuana less than an ounce, possession of weapon or the commission of a crime, and a license or tag display violation. Do you understand your charge and waive the reading of your charges, or you want them read aloud?
I understand.
Your bond is $8,500. You must not violate any laws out on bond. Are you able to make bond?
Yes. Is it possible I get a signature bond?
No, sir. Your next court date will be September 28th at 8 a.m. in room 201. Have a good day. Nasir Williams. You're Nasir Williams? How old are you?
How old am I?
Yes.
18.
You were originally charged with battery family violence as a misdemeanor. However, based on the review, you have a conviction from September of 2019. Is that correct?
September?
Do you have a conviction for battery family violence from September of 2019?
Yes, ma'am.
As such, you are now facing a felony for battery family violence. Based on the statute, when you have a second battery family violence, it is considered a felony. You also are, because of your felony status and the fact that your case from 2019, you got a suspended sentence, you are not eligible for a bond, so you do not have a bond at this time. Next court date is going to be on September 28th at 8 a.m. in room 201. Should you get a bond, a condition of that bond will be to stay away from the alleged victim. Give me a moment to make sure I You are to stay away from Rashida Williams should you get a bond. However, as I stated, you do not have a bond at this time. Have a good day.
Three come down.
What were you saying? Let's go ahead and do Miss Carswell. I found her paperwork. They sent it over.
Yes, Your Honor. All three.
Are you Miss Carswell?
Yes, ma'am.
Unfortunately, we're still not ready. We're missing one more document for you. Please have another seat. We're gonna try to get you done today though, so we can get everything moving. We'll go ahead and take the fugitives now. I'm waiting on one more thing from intake.
You have to come in.
We should have before me, Dariante Harris. Please raise your hand when I say your name. Khalid Smith
Here, Your Honor.
and Ramiro Cuevas.
Sam.
Give me one moment. I'm trying to pull up you all's documentation. Give me one more moment. I'm sorry, y'all.
Yes, ma'am. Take your time.
No, I thought he made it come this way. I thought LP did.
All right, we're going back on the record. Can you all hear the court?
Yeah.
All right, listen carefully. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Stated earlier, I am Judge Duvernay of the Magistrate Court, Clayton County Magistrate Court. And this hearing is what's called an extradition hearing. All the rights that I advised everyone of earlier also apply in your case, but your hearing is a little bit different from the other first appearance hearings that have just taken place. You do not have charges pending against you here in Clayton County, but you have been brought to court today because you have charges pending against you in another state, and they are requesting that you return to that state to answer to these charges. I'll start with you, Mr. Harris. Are you in fact Dariante Harris?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Smith, are you in fact Khalid Smith?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Cuevas, are you in fact Ramiro Cuevas?
Yes, ma'am.
Do any of you have an attorney representing you currently on these charges?
Yes, Your Honor.
Who is your lawyer?
My lawyer is Nick Fry.
This is your lawyer in Texas?
No.
Massachusetts?
Massachusetts, yes.
Does anybody else have a lawyer representing them?
No, ma'am.
No.
You are being charged with being a fugitive of justice as follows. Mr. Harris, you are charged of a fugitive from justice from Texas for evading arrest. Smith, you are charged of being a fugitive of justice from Massachusetts, charged with aggravated assault. Mr. Cuevas, you are charged of being a fugitive from justice from the state of Texas for charge of aggravated assault. Let me just verify.
No, that's.
Is that backwards?
I think so, because I had more than just evading arrest.
It says, Mr. Harris, evading arrest. That's the charge. That's what these warrants are for, and a parole violation.
No, that's
No, let me go back. Dariante Harris, you're wanted out of Texas, correct?
yes, ma'am.
You are charged in that state with the offense of evading arrest with vehicle. That's the only thing that's listed. Now, there are other charges that may be fine, but what they're charging you with that specific charge. Do you understand? In this warrant,
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Cuevas, you are charged with a parole violation.
Yes, ma'am.
I misspoke earlier when I said aggravated assault. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
And Mr. Smith, as stated, you are charged with aggravated assault in the state of Massachusetts. Do you understand?
Yes.
Once again, the court is not presuming that you're guilty or innocent of any of this. I'm just telling you what these states are accusing you of. Everybody understand that?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
This hearing is being conducted pursuant to OCGA Title 17, Chapter 13. As you have heard, is alleged that you are charged with the various crimes as listed in those warrants and in those states that they are seeking you. For you, Mr. Cuevas, that's Texas. For you, Mr. Harris, that's Texas. For you, Mr. Smith, that is Massachusetts. You each have a choice to whether to return to the state without going through the formal extradition process, or you can contest extradition. If you decide that you wish to contest extradition, the court may commit you to the county jail for an initial period of 30 days. During that time, a warrant will be prepared under the governor's signature for your extradition to the other state. The court may consider allowing you to post a bond, but the court is not required to. allow a bond in your case. In cases involving fugitives from justice, it is the policy of the magistrate court not to allow bond on those charges. So none of you have a bond on your fugitive from justice charge. Do you each understand?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
If you do not wish to voluntarily to return to Texas, Mr. Cuevas and Mr. Harris, or to return to Massachusetts, Mr. Smith, you may file a writ of habeas corpus to contest extradition. This writ can only contest 4 things. 1, whether the extradition documents are in order on their face. 2, whether you are charged with a crime that actually exists in the demanding state. And that will be Texas for you, Mr. Harris, Texas for you, Mr. Cuevas, Massachusetts for you, Mr. Smith. You can also testify on that writ whether or not you are the named person in the request and whether you are in fact a fugitive from justice. You cannot contest the issue of your guilt or innocence here in Georgia. Do you all understand?
Yes.
You're entitled to the advice of counsel in contesting in extradition or deciding whether to waive. If the state is unable to extradite you within 30 days, you may be committed to the county jail for an additional 60 days waiting period. If the extradition is not completed within 90 days, then you will be released. So I will ask each of you, Mr. Harris, do you wish to waive formal extradition and voluntarily return to the state of Texas?
I voluntarily go back.
You say yes?
Yes. That means that they have, what, the 30 days to come get me?
30 days, and if they don't come within the 30 days, they have an initial period of 60 days. And they have 90 days.
Yes, ma'am. I'll do that.
Mr. Smith, do you voluntarily wish to return to Massachusetts?
Yeah, I was told I have to sign a.
Yes, sir. We'll get there.
Okay, yes.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Cuevas, do you wish to voluntarily return to the state of Texas?
Yes, ma'am.
You each will receive several originals that need to be signed by you. Those are waivers. The court will sign them as well and process those. And sometimes the extradition goes quicker, you know, so just know that, but you have that clock is ticking now, okay? You all have a good day.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. And we have one more person, right? Mr. Jackson?
Yes, he's on his way, Your Honor.
Are they standing by with him?
They're coming with him.
Okay. I'm gonna go off and start working on this paperwork. Let me know when y'all are ready, okay?
Sure.
Thank you. I just realized we need Miss Carswell. Bring her out. I'm sorry, y'all. It's been a day.
And then we have one in medical, McDougal.
Right, that's Jackson, right?
No, McDougal is in.
Double check that McDougal. I feel like we've already done that.
McDougal, the female?
I feel like we've already gone over McDougal, or maybe I'm thinking McDowell.
Yeah, you did McDowell. McDougal is in medical.
Okay, give me a moment. Let's go ahead and do Miss Carswell while she's here.
No. Put him in there. Jackson? What?
Are you Miss Carswell?
Yes, ma'am.
You were charged with hindering the apprehension of a criminal? Do you understand the nature of your charge and waive the formal reading of your warrant, or do you wish to have your warrant read aloud?
May you read it out loud for me?
Yes. It is alleged that you, Shaniqua E. Carswell, did knowingly and unlawfully hinder the apprehension of Katisha Pierce and Regina Carswell by harboring and concealing said persons accused then and there, knowing or having reasonable grounds to believe that that person did shoot Mary Biden during an incident that occurred on July 30th on Old Dixie Road. You were in the vehicle when all parties began to argue while driving on Old Dixie Road. Shaniqua advised after the shooting, she did not let law enforcement know where the whereabouts of her sister because she did not want to get her sister in trouble, did not want her sister to go to jail. She advised she was aware that Mary died, but did not notify law enforcement of the sister's whereabouts. The court approved that warrant. You do not have a bond at this time. Your next court date will be September 28th at 8 a.m. in room 201. Have a good day.
September 28th.
Yes.
And what's the courtroom?
It's going to be. You just step back in there.
28th, Ms. Carswell. Have a good day.
Put your mask on.
Now you said McDougal.
McDougal.
I don't see anybody named McDougal. The only paperwork I have left is Jackson. Let me reach out to the jail to see, intake to see.
Because on one of the papers they submitted to me, it says she's out on bond, but she's not out on bond. She's actually in medical.
So she's not out on bond?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, let me send them an email.
Sandra McDougal.
Spell the name for me, please.
Her last name is McDougal. First name is Sandra.
Okay, I've just sent a message to the intake. In the meantime, do we have Mr. Jackson?
Yes, Your Honor.
We're ready whenever you are.
Just step right here. Keep the mask up. Stay right there.
Are you Jarvis Jackson?
Yes, ma'am.
You are charged with improper parking on a roadway, possession of marijuana less than an ounce, a felony count, a violation of the Georgia Controlled Substances Act, and possession of drug-related objects. Do you understand your charges and waive formal reading of your warrants, or do you wish to have your warrants read aloud? We are streaming live on YouTube.
Say it again, ma'am.
Do you wish for me to read your warrants aloud, or do you understand your charge and waive the formal reading of your charges? I'm just letting you know that we are streaming live on YouTube.
You can read them aloud.
Give me one moment.
Okay, I'll see that.
It is alleged that you, Jarvis Jackson, committed the offense of parking in a left turning lane on Sarah Boulevard after observing a marijuana cigarette in plain view inside the offender's vehicle. While conducting a vehicle search, the offender committed the offense of possessing approximately a total of 8 grams of marijuana in a black Ziploc bag, possession of a controlled substance which was field tested positive for THC, and possession of a drug-related object which turns out to be a scale. In reviewing this, the court finds that there is probable cause for the warrants. Your bond is $11,500, and you are not to violate any laws without on bond. Your next court date will be September 28th at 8 a.m. in room 201. I have appointed an attorney to represent you. Are you able to make bond?
Yes, ma'am. I just need to be able to call my people.
Okay, thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you.
All right, you step this way. Question.
Let me try to get intake on the phone since this is our last person. Bye.
Yes, ma'am.
Hey, Dixon. Oh, no way. Yes, down there. You need to let them out. You crossed out McDougal. Somebody crossed out McDougal and put out to bond. Somebody black. No. Close the door. Y'all go first.
Oh.
Yes,
There's no let those guys out.
hey, he's isolated. Hey, listen, tell him to let you in. The judge has a question. Yeah, so how can I go about calling my people? Stand in front of that door. What you stand in front of? What is
Deputy, we're back. Hello.
Yes, Shona.
Mystery is solved. I think she's being held for an FCA. She doesn't have any new charges out of Clayton, so she should not have been added to the first appearance. Hey, how you doing?
How you doing?
Doing well. She should not have been added.
McDougal, okay. But we already know she don't see the charges.
Yes,
now.
Shona.
Y'all figured it out. We figured it out at the same time, huh?
Okay.
Well, thank y'all for y'all's hard work. You know, these first appearances are very long in this COVID time, but we got to make sure we do everything right and keep everybody safe. So I thank y'all for what y'all are doing. I'm gonna go ahead and do some more paperwork, but y'all have a good one, okay? We have everybody covered, right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. You all take care. As soon as y'all can, please send those waivers over in alphabetical order so we can get everything finalized.
Okay, everything is together. Everything is together by the days.